What's going on, guys? My name is Chris Oberly and welcome to the At the Table Experience. Tonight we have a really good friend of mine. He's making his second appearance. He's been traveling a lot. He can do anything because he's Asian. Give it up for my good friend, Patrick Kuhn. There he is.
Hey guys, what's
Awesome.
up?
So you've been traveling a lot.
I have been a little bit.
What have you been up to?
Oh, well, since last time I've been here, it's probably been like at least like a couple years, right? So it was kind of funny because that was actually my first lecture I've ever done. And so ever since last year I did a tour, so I did my lecture all over Asia, over 20 cities.
I've seen like footage of you in Asia. I think it was you and Pandrea.
Yes.
And it's like, they're like rock stars. Like, they're all lined up, and then Patrick comes around the corner, everybody's like, oh, and you know the Asian thing.
Yeah, the Asian thing. So people there are really awesome. Like,
yeah,
I
super
really
nice.
felt like I was like a K-pop star or something.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have a
yeah.
lot of stuff to teach, a lot of new stuff, and some stuff that you've seen before, brand new handlings, easier handlings.
Yeah, so since last time, I mean, a lot of people have known like my magic style has slowly changed. I would say more mature since I've been working a lot on TV and commercial and consulting and all that stuff. So obviously stuff that I'm doing now is definitely a lot more of like worker material. Whereas before I do a lot of sleight of hand stuff and like card sandwich and all that stuff.
Right.
So now everything is kind of changed, and hopefully in this lecture you see my material that has been developed over years.
Yes, so let's get started.
Cool, I want to show you something very simple. This is one of the tricks I've been doing for a while. I forgot to bring my cards actually.
Really? We can cut.
It's invisible deck. Take a look.
Nothing.
That's my brand new playing cards called Visa playing cards.
So people actually would probably buy these if they were just like this. Nothing.
Yeah.
So probably, because it's Patrick Kuhn.
These are actually my Visa playing cards.
Right.
So I want to imagine we have cards in here. And we've got black cards and red cards. Just kind of name one of those for me. Red or black. We're going to take one of them out.
Red.
Red cards. So all the red cards were taken out from the box. We have hearts and diamonds. Which one of those would you like?
I would like hearts.
Hearts. All the cards actually appear inside the box. All the hearts we got. Name a number between 1 to 10 for me.
3.
3.
3.
3 of
Hearts.
That's a fair choice, yes?
Yes, if you get this.
And in this deck, we have 52 cards. You name the 3 of hearts. So I want you to imagine that card right here from the invisible deck. I turn that one card only upside down in this deck. There's one card reversed now. If I spread over, you can see right now the 3 of hearts is now the only card face up in the deck.
What?
Even better, this card is actually the only red card in this deck. And then you can see all the cards are all blue.
That's awesome. I love it.
It's ungimmicked.
Ungimmicked.
So this is my take on the classic invisible deck. And for me, I'm always a big fan of invisible deck, and just trying to find a way of accomplishing this effect where they seemingly name any card, right? So obviously there's a little deck switch. We don't have to do that. I just thought I would do that for fun as a conceptualized idea. So you can start off with a box and a little framing there. It's kind of nice, to see that card, and so it plays well with the gag of invisible deck. And obviously you don't have to do a switch like I did, and you can just perform it kind of really casual environment. So let me just kind of put this back. Now obviously there's some outs here, and there are actually 16 cards out. So I'll show you a little setup here we have here. So as you can see, I have the 2 of hearts, 2 9 of hearts. As you can see on the camera, 2 to 9. Starting with a 2 on top. And you don't have to do these in a different back. You have an option. You can. If you just want to do this impromptu on a spot, then I would just do with a blue back.
Okay.
So you can do this with red, okay? So red, 2 to 9. And on the bottom, as you can see here, I'm going to move here so you can see it. It goes from 9 to 2, reversed. Okay? So now, here I put one face down card as a cover card on top, and then on the bottom as well. So starting, the easiest way to think about this is to always have the 2 on top.
Okay.
So I have the diamonds here.
And the same thing.
And have the hearts here.
Okay.
So just to make sure that if I have the hearts on top, the only thing you have to memorize is hearts on top, diamonds on the bottom.
Okay.
Whichever way that is easier for you to remember. So I have a 2 on top, cover card. Then I turn the other way around. The 2 is still on top, a different different suit this time, then a cover card goes on top.
Easy.
So once again, this goes into the box. I'm going to go a little bit more detail on how to explain all this stuff with the wording and stuff, and this goes in the box. So I just happen to have these prototype of the Visa playing cards with the window frame, so I thought it would be kind of cool to actually do this with to kind of show the invisible deck. So you can have this on your lap, on the back pocket, whatever you want. If you're standing up or you have a table, you can come down, reach over to grab something, you switch the box. Because the trick hasn't really happened yet, so you can start off with this as a gag. So I give this to them, take a look, invisible deck.
I really thought you forgot your cards. So, empty, good.
Cool. From here, my right hand would just casually, my legs right now are being just holding tight like this so I can hold this deck on my lap. My hand casually come down, grab the deck, palm here. And in the action of you talking about the invisible deck, I said, can you just name one of those cards for me? Red cards or black card? We're going to take one out. From here, I do a little switch. Okay, so I just dropped the box. Let me pick this up. So what you're doing here, you kind of hold the cards in a Tenkai palm. And you have a table, so your hand is just casually resting there. And to do this, I put this kind of like in a gambler's cop position. So it goes from mechanic's palm. So come over, I'm going to spin the deck around, like so. At the same time, I'm just lapping this card here, okay? Make sure that bottom of your hand is always in contact of the table. So you can just casually lap the cards like so. So one more time, here, come down, lap, produced. And now you have the full deck here. So one more time in action here. So one of those cards, we just name one of them for me, red or black, which one of those do you like? And then that's the switch right there, okay? So my legs are still lapping this one. So let's say I already finished that. Red cards or black cards. So obviously I'm gonna have to have them forced down to red cards, right? So this is the wording I always like to use. Red cards and black. In a deck of cards consists of red cards and black cards. I want to imagine I'd take one out from the box. Which one do you want me to take out?
So I'm going to say black.
Now notice I say take out, because that could mean two things. I could take them out to use, or I can take them out completely. So they say, which one do you want?
Black.
Black. Obviously, I want them to pick the red, right? So they say black. I say you want to take all the black cards away, leaving all the hearts and diamonds that we're going to use. Which one of those would you like?
Diamonds.
Diamonds. At this point, I already have the cards here, so you can do any magical gesture. Diamonds. The card has now appeared in the box. Now, as soon as I name the suit, the diamonds, like I said before with the orientation of the deck, diamonds is on the bottom. So what I have to do, I take the cards out with the bottom facing out.
Okay.
Right? So if they name hearts, then I take out this way. If they say diamonds, I take out this way.
Okay.
So right now, like we memorized before, the 2 is on top. Now here's the move you have to learn. I asked them to name a number. So I usually do this with multiple people. So one person can name a color, another person name a suit, another person name a number. So it feels like it plays a little bit bigger with more people.
Right.
And they feel more involved, and it allows you to have a little bit more room for misdirection to do the dirty work. So I asked them to name a number between 1 to 10. And a question of asking someone to name a 1 to 10 is such a very casual question. So instead of me asking you, name any value in a deck of cards. If I ask you to name 1 to 10, number actually only goes to 1 to 10. And I say between 1 to 10.
Right.
So it narrowed down to only 2 to 9.
Okay.
So say, Chris, name a number between, somewhere between 1 to 10. Name for me.
4.
4. At this point, there's 2 ways I'm going to show you. The first is more preferred way to use pinky to count the cards. It's called pinky count. The camera can zoom in. As you can see, since I have an X card on top, if they name 4 and I just count 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, my pinky is immediately under the 4. You see that?
Right.
If they name 2, I just go 1, 2. And then when I pick up the break, the 2 is above my pinky. So usually before I ask them the question, people always name somewhere between 3 to 8.
Right.
So I naturally just go like 2 or 3 cards just to speed up the
So you already
process.
had, right.
So if they name 8, then I only have to go like 4 more, you know?
Okay.
So in this case, I go 3. And I have my pinky break right there. If they name 3 already, then it's perfect. I don't have to do any move. So here's the only move you really have to do for this trick. My middle finger, ring finger, going to slide out that card, so you get that little side drop there, obviously with your hand covered like this. I'm just going to do the move, and I'll show you how to misdirect and perform this correctly. So from here, what I do now, you can see the card side drop. I would pick up about half. I'll slide this over so it lines up with that card there. my finger just grab that there. And instead of me pulling down like this really fast, because that would create a big action, I would just do it very softly. So the card comes out, slide over, and what I do from here, I use the heel of my thumb to keep contact of the card. So you don't want to separate two hands out like that, because that looks like you're doing a pass. From this point, my hand just basically tilt down. So this is actually the best angle, is this from this side. My hand just shift down, tilt, slide the cards, and then back out. As you can see, by having this in contact of the deck, it reduces the motion quite a lot. So let me do that one more time. From here, get the card. I break them down to different steps too. So first, get the card out jog, second card align, and the last part do. Sorry, let me try it one more time. I push the card out, step over, and then do the move like this.
It's easy.
Okay, so that's the move right there. Now, if you don't know how to do pinky count, I would highly recommend to do that, but there's another way to do this, is to use your thumb to count the cards. Now, the only disadvantage of using the thumb is that once you count the card, you can see from the front. So the best way to perform this is to just have your hand a little bit on the side like this, and they name a card, 4, just count 1, 2, 3, 4. Your thumb get the break. Now my right hand can just transfer, pick up at that break, go back to the move, 1, step over, 2, 3, slide over.
Wow.
So that's the move, right? To centralize that card. So if I'm performing this standing up, right? So I'm going to show you everything from beginning. So if you can go to the wider shot so we can kind of see this. So once again, they name the suit based on what suit they name this. We're going to go for heart this time.
Okay.
We'll take out the hearts. Say, Chris, can you name a number between 1 to 10?
6.
So I already went 3, so I just go 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So I have a 6 right now on my pinky. 6 of hearts. So first, I would side jog the card and I'll stop. So you're going to name any card in the deck. We have 52 cards. My hand just slide over. And when you imagine that card, so after I finish the move, my hands separate immediately. So imagine a 6 of hearts, because I wanted to feel like I didn't do anything, right?
Right.
So imagine 6 of hearts, turn over, place back into the deck. So now there's only 1 card reversed. Now the fact I'm using an odd back card, I could do 2 kickers. So first, instead of me revealing this to show that the only face down card, is that I would show the face of the card first. So you want to do a block push off, hiding these. So just do a block and just go through like this to show the first card, the 6. So you get the first reaction. Make sure not to flash the bottom one. Here, show these. And then you can slowly just come up and show that it's the only card that is red.
So good.
Okay?
That's great.
Any question on this?
No. My question is, what kind of deck is that?
So these are the Visa playing cards. Alex Pantera and I have been working on this deck, and yeah, Murphy gonna carry them, so
nice.
it's gonna be great.
So they should be
one
out.
of my favorite deck. It looks just like a normal cards, and yeah, it would be printed
great.
with metallic ink and stuff, so
That's
it would look
awesome.
really elegant and nice.
Nice. Okay.
Cool. So that's just a little card thing. You know, I really like sleight of hand card stuff, you know, but recently after working and performing, you know, you want to stuff that it get good reaction, and instead of focusing too much on the sleight of hand technical perspective, you just want to focus more on the outcome of the effect.
Right.
So yeah, today we got some new stuff that I'm going to show to you.
Yes. And there's one, what was the bill one?
Oh yeah. So-
what was that called?
It's called extortion.
Extortion.
So,
good.
last time that I was here on my first lecture, I did my bill change. I think I was just teasing about the trick, because the trick hasn't come out yet. But today I have a more simplified version, a version that I've done on TV, and I think you're gonna like the presentation and how it works. So
You'll be teaching a couple things that have been performed on TV.
yes, and more
stuff,
refined and stuff. So let me just show this to you. I have some cash. I know you don't have a lot of cash.
No, I'm broke.
I have $21. Okay, so take that. I have a 20, and just kind of fold them in half for me.
Okay. So here we go.
And then I'm gonna need your wallet as well. So I have 20 and $21.
Okay.
That's all I have. I'm broke too. I'm gonna use your wallet. So have you been pickpocket before? Did Greg
Yes, because I
Greg
had
steal
like
it?
$1,000 in there, and now I'm
It's
left
gone.
with nothing.
Your wife took it,
She
I
did.
assume.
I'm married now.
Okay, so I'm gonna use your wallet. and I'm going to use my money, so that way I'm not really stealing your money. I'm
Okay.
stealing my own money, but I'm going to use your wallet, okay?
Okay.
So I want to imagine here, $21, 20 and a 1. I'm going to place these two here in the wallet like this. There's nothing else because it's broke. Hold your hand out. And
Way to
just
rub it in, Patrick.
put your hand lightly on top. I want you to think of one of those bills for me. You got a 20 and we got a 1. Think of one of, don't say it out loud. Think of one, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to pretend to be a pickpocket.
All right.
I'm Asian, so people say I have super
Kung
fast
fu.
hand. Kung fu power. Think of one of those for me. I'm going to take one out. Okay? Think of one. Put your hand on top, tight. You're thinking of a 1.
I was actually thinking of the 20.
Okay, so this is just a most basic way of stealing money. It's me taking something out.
Right.
A better pickpocket is the one that can take something out in exchange for something even more valuable. So I took something out. That's simple. The hardest part is for me to exchange that bill, 1 back to a 20. So you think of a 20. Camera, if you just come closer, you can see a 20 and a 1, 2. Now it's changed completely both sides into a 20. Open your hand, open the wallet. Inside there's 1 bill.
Come
and
on.
$1.
That's so good.
All right, so I'm sure we are familiar with the 5-to-1 transpo, and it's a really classic trick. I love it. The only problem is the bill is so small, right? Like you always fold them down to like a little quarter, and it's done in the hand. So for me, this one I think it plays a little better because you see more of the bill. You actually see half the bill change, more visual, and also I'm using borrow item, using the wallet, so which ties into the presentation, the pickpocket, and all that stuff.
I like
Even a
that.
little better, and it allows you to allow a little bit more suspense because the bill is inside the wallet. So, you know, they're gonna open their hands like, no way, they opened this, and you know,
Right.
we have a clip that I did online too, so maybe I'll insert that in so you can kind of see the reaction.
Yeah.
It's great. So obviously there's a gimmick bill, but this bill, if you look closely, is very thin, and I can show both sides. Okay. Essentially, what it is that it's just a more simplified version of my trick, extortion. And this one doesn't use weight. I just use magnet, and you can see a little flap here. Okay, so basically what I do is that I take a 1, I cut in half, I take a 20, cut in half, and every time when I make gimmick bills, don't worry that you're gonna, you know, lose your money because you're cutting the bill. I always keep the other half at home,
Right.
keep them safe, because you can always just use just use a tape and just put everything back when you don't want to use it. So I use rubber cement. So anytime I want to deconstruct the bill, you can just simply just peel them out, rub off the glue, and
Just tape
it's just like new, yeah. So as you can see here, I put them together as like a tent. So a 1 and 20, and I line them up like this. I just put rubber cement, creating this little flap.
And it's not like extortion where you're cutting across the border. It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
just
The original method is that I use the bill here, the inside, you see the little border,
Yeah.
to do the flap. But the reason I come up with this method too is that I can use this with any currency now. So on a TV show that you might see, the insert clip here, is that it allows you to do this with any bill. So as long as they have the same height, the width
Right.
doesn't matter. Because in Thai currency, the bill is actually a little shorter. on a different
Right.
denomination. So this works with any bill. So it's a much more practical method, I think. Less visual, but I think for the whole trick, I think
great.
it plays well. So as you can see here, I also have some little magnets here on the corners. So here, 1, 2, and then
These are
down.
super thin?
And yeah, they're pretty thin. So here. And if you want to look for a good site for magnets, I would suggest going to Super Magnets.
super magnet.
Superman magnet, super magnet,
Okay.
something. Just type in super magnet, it
Yeah.
would probably come up.
Okay.
A
Or
great-
there's I think Shin Lim has
Yeah, the
super
very thin one. Those are great for cards. I
Okay.
think they're a little bit too big though,
Little bit
but
too big?
that size is the thinnest you'll
Right.
probably ever find. So, so with this method, again, I have 2 points of magnets here, 1, 2, and then just watch it. When I press down, it's just closed, and this looks super thin. You can see even up close on camera.
Can't even see it.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
On the back, it's super clean. The front, there's a little seam where you fold the bill. Okay, so this allows you to just be able to open this up back and forth. So before I started, one thing I do too is that I trim the flap a little bit so that on the front you can't really see it, but when I just run my finger like this, I can feel the flap and I can open it much easier. So just trim this slightly down, use X-Acto knife trim it down, so I can just push down, get into that flap very easily. So first, obviously I like to do this with a bar wallet, and so here, a bifold wallet, okay? So this is gonna play a big part in a second. So I borrow this, take a 20 and a 1. I say the reason I'm giving you my money is so that I can steal money and I won't go to jail or get punched by you or something. So whatever presentation you want to use. 20 and a 1. Also, one more thing. The reason I built this into a 20, so it goes from a 1 to a 20. And the reason for that is that I want this to be a 2-effect gimmick. If I don't want to do a transpo, I can take this out to pay for something, and I just change that into a 20. And then that could become a trick already. 1 going to a 20 is impressive enough. If I do a 1 to 5, I think it's not as impressive as 1 to 20, because 20 is pretty common to pay in US. And so I suggest, you know, just instead of building this into 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, just go to a 20.
Right.
And because
there's a big difference.
It's a big difference in the size and the contrast and look. So you can do this to just change the bill or do this as a transpo. So you get 2 tricks out of 1 gimmick, okay? So once again, I start off with just 2 bills. I can show both sides, give one of them to them, and the move you have to do in the beginning is find the flap, open it, and open the flap like this. So right now, it becomes a double-sided bill. 1, 20. Okay? You can do that. And if you want to, you can still open this on the inside so they can still see a 20 and a 1. Fold both of these together, and then I ask them for their wallet. Another way to do this too is just to show them like this, put them together. As I ask for a wallet, that's when you do the move. You open to the flap, and you just open like this. So now I have the 1 on the bottom. So a lot of time when you do the 5 to 1 transpo, there's always a move that you have to do to turn around. Now since I'm doing half the bill, this would be really tricky to put in someone's hand without flashing the 2 1s.
Right.
So I'm using wallet to do the move for me, okay? So ask for a wallet, bring the wallet like this. Now I take these 2, I have a 20 and a 1, I put it on the left side of the wallet, so left side on my side. These goes in. I don't push in all the way just so that I can grab them easier later on, but enough to hide the denomination of the bill. So I put them here and check out. This is the only move you have to do to reverse the bill. I close it like this. So now the 2 has been reversed.
Over, right.
Right? I ask them to hold their hand out. This also create a good image. Now for me, a lot of time I've been doing a little bit some stuff on TV appearance and game show and news and stuff. It's great way. The great way for me is I always try to picture as a still. So imagine that you take one screenshot of your performance and you use that as the main thumbnail for your YouTube or something.
Right.
You want a picture that has that question people.
Right.
Right. So for me, having people going like this with their wallet and me just standing like this, this. If I take a still shot right here, it's like a little weird, like a little bit unusual, and make people like want to see more.
Yeah.
So my goal for me is every trick I try to do, I always try to create an image. So you think of an image first, like a snapshot.
Right.
And then you say, okay, this would be good on TV. So imagine if I can go on TV, I get to do 2 tricks. You got to think of a trick that would be good for still, because you don't want to be dealing cards. You want something that is a little bit unusual, a little bit more unique. Just make them question and want to see more. So for me, this is also a good image. Also play much bigger for the audience. Open their hand, do the classic presentation 1 to 20. Pick one of those for me. Doesn't matter which one they name. I reach over. Obviously, my thumb just stick under. I'm going to take the first bill, because the gimmick bill.
The one on top.
Yes, the one on top. Because before, when I put it in, it was on the bottom. So after I flip it, it's reversed now. So the gimmick bill is on top. I take this out. Make sure not to flash the 20. So as you can see, the 20 is in the back. I take out the gimmick and I push the other one in all the way. Take out the gimmick, holding the flap right here, and show that, did you pick the 1? They said no. Say, well, that's a good pickpocket. The more advanced one is the one that can actually exchange object back in there without you feeling it, right? So you can tie that into your pickpocket presentation, whatever you want. At this point, very simple. All you do, I use my thumb, close the bill, that allow it to change. But obviously, because of the magnet, it creates a little bit of a sound, as you can hear that. So I use my finger to snap in front to cover the sound, also to just create that little bit moment of the bill change. Okay, so here. finish, just like that. Another way you can do is maybe you can even take the wallet. I mean, I like to be hands off, but if you want, you can take the wallet like this, wave over, and now it exchanged. So many ways you can perform this. So open it, so now the magnet locks, so I can very casually handle the bill. It looks like a normal bill. At this point, I point to the wallet, all the attention goes down to their wallet. They open it, show the ones inside. Now, what's great about this presentation too is that the fact that the bill is inside the wallet, inside of their hand, it takes more time for them to take their hand off, open this, find the bill, right? If you want to do a switch, and I have done this on TV, I have another bill on my left pocket. So as you're doing that, my hand casually just relax, switch the bill in my back pocket, and by the time they finish looking at this, I can just hand the bill out. They can take a look at both, okay?
That's great. Love it.
So yeah, I mean, I like magic that can fit in the wallet. For me, you know, I was trying to think of tricks that I can fit in the wallet, and because I don't like to carry anything too bulky.
Yeah, and this is great. I love this effect. And then another thing I recommend is check out Extortion anyway, because that's a really open and really
that one looks
chain.
like you just hold like this and just change. I also teach a version of doing this same trick where it looks really fair. You can still show on all sides, you know. So there's a little subtlety being taught on there. So
awesome.
So that's it. That's just a more simplified version of Extortion.
Yeah, and that's why I like your stuff, because all of it's visual. And you don't have to be 100% Asian to do it, but I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so visual magic. I love visual magic, and you know, after doing magic for a while, I always question myself: why am I not doing the visual sandwich effect that I've been teaching? Right? Like, why do people just go back to vicious card?
Right.
Where it's less visual, but why is it stronger?
Right.
And you know, like the problem with visual magic is that when you perform, let's say, for example, like a double lift trick, right? So I do a trick where I show the king, and I place a different card in their hand. They put their hand on top. Why is that better? Because they create the middle part, the visual part in their head. So from A to C, they create the B part.
Right.
Visual magic kind of like fill up everything, so there's no room for them to process.
Right.
And sometimes it ends too quick. So for me, I still try to keep that visual element, but not be too visual, because I feel like it becomes less mysterious and the trick ends too quick. For example, they pick the card here, boom, I change to the king, and then the trick is over. But why is it better that I'm putting this card in your hand like this, and I wait a little bit, right? Because they can't follow where that card changed, because you change the time of where the magic happened.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's hard for them to backtrack. Whereas if I was to do a snap change, it goes from A, B, C, it's done.
Right.
All in like 1 second.
Yeah.
So the last part they remember is that, oh, you know, the deck was in my hand and I just changed the card. Whereas if I was to do this, that's A, they put their hand on top, I move the moment, C, and now they fill out the B part, and so they can't track.
Yeah, that's really weird that when you do something in somebody's hands, whereas you could do something super visual up here, it's something about having the card in their hands that creates that moment.
So for me, you know, I still try to keep that element. For example, like this trick, right? So there's visual element involved, but the end result goes back to them.
Right.
So it's not everything happened here. So I think it's okay to create visual tricks, but they need to be involved, because most visual trick always happen with just the performer doing tricks, and it happens all here. It needs to be bouncing back and forth, you know, bouncing back and forth. So this is actually a good example of, I don't have to do this trick visually too, you know, I could do it really non-visual, still get the same effect, but obviously if you're doing stuff on TV or videos, social media, obviously visual is good, because people don't have too much time to watch your stuff, and just getting things out quick and visual stands out a little bit more. So yeah, so it's good to know, you know, like between a material that works well for camera and material that works well for people, and I try to blend the two. Yeah,
it's great. Love it. Another question that I have is, I mean, you've created a lot of stuff. I mean, we can save this till later, but can we talk about later on your creative process?
Yeah.
How you create stuff, because I know people may be interested in that.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's really strange that you can actually make a living by just creating magic. And I never thought I'd be creating stuff, you know, but we'll talk a little bit more detail
Yeah.
on kind of like just my routine and kind of like what I do to help me, you know,
Right.
because still, you know, today, like, you know, being around like really creative people like Kaylin, Blake, and all these people and work with a lot of talented magicians
Right.
inspire me and makes me want to think a little bit more outside the box.
Awesome.
I mean, card trick is good, but then at the end of the day, all the card
It's a
tricks look the
visual.
same.
Okay, so let's do a couple more things, and then we'll hit more on the creative process, your creative process later.
Sure.
So,
If you know me, I love card tricks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, if you don't make them different, they all look the same to
Right.
people. You know, Triumph, all that trick, they all look the same. So I like to streamline the effect a little bit. So this is just one version of a trick that I always like. It's kind of like a card sandwich effect, but I want to make it as simple as possible so people can actually
Mm-hmm.
process. So this is one of the new trick I've been teaching on my lecture. Show 2 jokers, check them out. There's nothing strange between them, no special
Normal.
gimmicks. Perfect. We're going to place these down on the box, so there's nothing between them. We'll come back to that later. Now, in a deck of cards, just go ahead, just touch any card you want. Take it out, show it to the camera. Good.
good.
10 of hearts. Kind of nice to have a monitor, right? Could you hold your hand out? Just put your hand on here, on top of the deck. Now, before we started, we have 2 jokers. 1, 2. Your cards somewhere in there, watch the 2 jokers. Imagine 1 card appear between.
No.
Sound effect helps. 1 card right there, the 10 hearts. So this is my version of a trick I released with Penguin. Actually, it's called Carbonate. We have a download on it, and I'm going to go through a little bit more variation and detail on this trick. But yeah, I just like simple trick. You know, the idea is just a card travel from the deck appear
Right.
between 2 jokers, and for me, if the spectator can't really describe the whole trick in 1 sentence, I think, you know, it's a little bit too much.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you do like 10 card tricks, it's you finding their cards, pretty much. So, so yeah, I'm gonna show the move a little bit. So this is called Carbonate. I have
Carbonate.
a Carbonate. I don't even know why I come up with Carbonate. I was like, I need to come up with a trick, carbon copy, and then I look up in French or something, and it's called
yeah.
Carbonate with the accent, and people was like, Carbone.
Carbone.
Anyways, so 2 jokers. So here's the move, really. The main move is me vanishing that card. Okay? So just like this. So that's the main move, is me vanishing the card. Obviously, producing card at the same time looks like I didn't do anything. So imagine another card is in bottom palm. And I'm going to stand up so you can see this a little better. I can show 2 jokers, 1, 2.
Wow.
So it looks like I didn't do anything much. So again, the card is being produced from my left hand. At the same time, I vanish the top card. So at the same time, I show Joker 1, Joker 2.
Wow.
Okay?
Looks really good.
And then you do the move. So I'll teach you a more simple way later on. So that's the main move, and I'll teach you how to do it. So very simple, actually. You want to try?
Yeah.
Just take 1 card.
So this face. This is like this.
Yeah, so do the move first. So first you want to hold middle finger and thumb on the left side, so just like a middle grip. Middle finger and thumb, and you put your ring finger next to your middle finger. Now put your pinky on kind of like the middle of the card. Okay, so now imagine that my pinky pushing towards my middle finger and thumb, and then they're pushing opposite fingers. So basically you're kind of doing like this isolation movement. You're sliding the card along the cards like this. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Hold very lightly though, and then just use your pinky. You want to slide that over.
Okay, so it'd be like
Pinky in the middle, and your thumb. Just imagine your thumb pushing towards your pinky, and your pinky pushing toward your thumb. Perfect. So once you got that, take another card, and you want to align it up, maybe about like ½ an inch, like so. Okay, and then when you do the move, the card should align itself. No, the other way.
Oh, sure.
So like this.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you're gonna just push over,
Ah.
right? So you pretty much align the card. So if you do it face down, you can see it vanish. Nice. See, so that's pretty
That's
easy.
super easy.
So that's the main move. So I would practice this, getting it a little bit quicker. You don't have to do it super quick. This is the main thing you really have to practice
This
on.
is really
it's just
easy.
vanishing this card.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine this. So you can combine this. If I'm standing up, here's another version. Take this out, and you know this move?
Mm-hmm.
have a little break, and your thumb just push over on the side of the deck. If you combine that, as you take the card and you vanish the card, it looks like just take the card, right?
Wow.
And I'm squaring up that double. Once again,
Wow.
that looks good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you the main method first. I'm going to show you variations. So
Okay.
this move, you know, I've been playing around with this move for a long time and come up with many variations on this. So first thing first, I use 2 identical jokers for a reason, because I'm going to do a frustration count in a second. So I'm going to show joker 1, a second joker, like this. So I have them examine. These 2 goes into the box. Having a box is really important. I don't normally use close-up pad because it's a little bit unusual for me to take out close-up pad and it looks a bit too like stagey. So I use my box as kind of like my close-up pad. And it's nice to have a box on a table because it kind of help you frame the spotlight here, and also it's much easier for me to pick up things. Now imagine if these are on the mat and you
Right.
don't have a mat on table. It's impossible to
Right.
pick these 2 up without having to re-grip the position, because I want to be able to just pick this up and do the move right away. And so by having this, it allows me to pick this up without ruining the setup. So first, I show jokers, they examine it, I put them to the position I want to do the move later on, place these down onto the box. Okay, so this is set up. From here, there's a couple ways, so I'm going to show you the way that I perform first. So first, I pick the card, doesn't matter, I show the 6. You're going to do a diagonal palm shift. So the card's palm. If you don't know this, there's many stores you can learn this. I'm going to teach you a way without doing the palm as well. So the card basically goes down there, transfer into a palm. At this point, I can give the deck to them. My hand just come down. My thumb can rest on a table with the card palm. Let's go into their palm, like so. As my hand move over to pick this one to show the jokers. It's really important that they see 2 jokers that they just examined. My hand come up. You're going to reverse the action, producing it up. At the same time, I show the first one, and it looks like I should take the first one.
So good.
Take a second one. You can do this very slowly on the table, square them up, and now cleanly show that there's a card appear there. Now I'm 1 step behind because when I load the card's on the bottom. So I'm going to have to do a reversal. So what I do is I have my left hand come over, pick the bottom 2, and I'm going to reverse the card like this as I turn my hand over. Okay, so that's the move, because right now, if I just turn over, the card's on the bottom. I want to make it look like it comes from the middle.
Right.
So my hand, turn, pick up the bottom 2, you're going to reverse the card, and then my hand just turn like this.
So at speed.
So at speed, boom, appear, right there, there's 1 card right there, and you can even up jog it to really isolate that picture. Take the bottom 2, and you're going to switch like this, okay?
Wow.
Okay, so one more time real quick from
Yeah.
the top, and then I'm going to teach you a more basic version of this effect. 2 jokers examined, placed onto the box like this. You can do any method you want. Show the card, the jack goes there, palm out, spread like this, they put their hand on top, whatever you want. Take these 2, show 1, 2. Another way to do that too, you know, instead of placing on a table, I can just show like this, do the move, produce 1 and 2, so I leave them like this, so it looks like I didn't do anything yet. The move is, everything's already done. I'm 1 step ahead. I hold a double, and I just use my middle finger and just flicking that out, just create an illusion that the card just appear there. So go like this, 1, 2. Looks like a card just appear.
Right.
Then again, you do the move, Monty move. At the same time, I take this out. So yeah, that's pretty
so
much,
good.
that's the main method. And I'm going to show you a more basic version.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, the 2 jokers placed on top. I can have a card selected, in this case a 5. Any control that you want. Let's say you do a table cut. Cards are controlled to the top. Okay, any method you want. It could be a sign card too. At this point, I ask them to hold their hand out and say you have 2 jokers. Go 1 and 2. I want you to place your hand on top. So I placed a double. I'm already done right now. I have a double here. And I square them up very slowly. They put their hand on top. Really create this moment. Open their hand. So now they see 3 now. Okay?
So good.
Another way that I like to do the switch as well is that I would turn over 1 card, show joker. This one goes to the bottom and I flick over. So just another way of doing it. Like this.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like the 5 is in the middle,
Yeah.
right? So once again, the joker is being loaded like this. Just put your hand on top, boom, card appear, show the first card, the Joker, this goes to the bottom, and I flick them over, show the 5 in the
easy.
middle.
It's great.
So yeah, just really combining this move with the pop-up production on the top.
I want to be doing that.
But you want to do it very, very casually. So the cards control to the top, take these, could you hold your hand out? And then you just simply place it to like this in their hand. And a lot of time with a sandwich move, you have the card has to come to the deck and you pick them up like this. Whereas this one, especially if I'm laying on a table, it looks really isolated. Like my hand has
So
never really
good.
come close, right? So
Yeah.
basically just combining this, the move at the same time. And you can do it really openly too, because this looks like what it should look like. That.
It's great.
So yeah,
I
there's-
love the fact that they see 2 and then they put their hand on top and then they lift it up and then there's 3.
yeah, another variation I like too, because, and another thing I want to talk about is making a trick that is not visual, but making it feel visual. For example, I love this moment, you know, the card being placed down, and you just create this moment.
It's great.
It's not visual. There's nothing
Right.
happening between the deck and the cards, but you create that little like
That moment. Yeah.
And I think it's really important for Magic. You know, you frame that moment.
Right.
For example, like I'm doing coin bin. It's not visual at all,
Right.
but you build that moment that they're filling up in their head.
their
So
minds,
for me,
yeah.
I really like this motion. You know, of the card jumping,
Yeah.
and they almost fill in the gap of the card like traveling.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
really
great.
like that a lot. So
I love it. What do you call this?
Carbone.
Carbonet.
I probably should come up with a better name.
It's all right.
So we'll just call it a card sandwich for now.
That's awesome.
There's a DVD I actually filmed with Alex. We did a lecture tour together. It's called Asia Lecture Tour 2.0. And on a DVD we have 4 tricks, and what we don't really have a name, so this is called the card thing.
The card thing.
The card thing on a DVD, and we have a coin
That's
trick,
awesome.
so we have a coin thing, card thing, phone thing, and a matchbox
So
thing.
they're all things.
So everything,
Fun
and then the bonus section we call the other things.
Oh, right.
So
That's awesome.
pretty creative, right?
If they want to get that, where would they go?
Murphy will carry them too.
Murphy's.
It's called the Asia Lecture Tour. It'll probably come out around in
Awesome.
the next couple months. So.
Is this all stuff that you created while you were on the tour?
Yeah, just some stuff that we've been doing. We have a jam session on there. We just talk about little subtlety on move and stuff. So
That's great.
It's really fun. You know, we did a lecture tour together, and it's kind of nice to do a lecture with another person, and we just kind of show different style, different
Yeah.
approach in classic Magic. So
I've seen videos, and you guys are like, it's like rock stars. Like
it
here
was-
comes Led Zeppelin, like down the corridor, and all these guys are freaking out.
yeah, it was
That's
really fun.
great.
So
That's cool.
yeah, so there's just some card stuff. I want to show you some coin stuff. Coin
Love it.
thing. This is actually on the DVD as well. It's called Coin Thing.
The coin thing. This is the coin thing.
But if you get a DVD, it comes with a deck of cards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the at Risa.
Nice.
We launched like a little Kickstarter campaign,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, did pretty well. So let me just show you some coins, which I don't know where I have them. Probably in my pocket.
There you go.
3 coins. So this is basically a coin move that you can apply for literally like anything. You know, could be a coin, could be a ring, small object. So 3 coins. So as you can see, I don't really do coin tricks anymore. Coin tricks, 3 coins. I'm gonna make the coin jump from hand to hand,
Okay.
just like that. You see that? I don't know why a magician always say that. Do you see that?
Did you see that?
The coin jump, right? That's the first coin that jumps. Goes from my left hand to my right hand. This time you actually hear it. Second coin jump.
Wait.
The last one, Chris. Last coin go from here. 2 coins. Hold your hand out. Grab on my wrist. Watch.
What?
3 coin travel.
What the heck?
Okay, so a lot of time when you do, I mean, this routine is not really like the best routine, but it's just I'm just showing showcase of the move that you can apply different phases in different ways. So basically, it's like a coin shoot, coin pass, pretty much. You know, I learned this from Shudogawa doing like a muscle pass in the pocket and all that stuff. The problem with muscle pass is that it's really hard.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
hard to do with small objects like coins or rings. And a lot of time when you shoot something, the most obvious part that the coin could escape is where you're shooting. So for me, when you do muscle pass, first of all, your hand looks like that. And then the coin
Yeah,
being
really.
shot. So it's really weird. There's another way you can shoot like this, you know, it goes from the bottom, shoot out. So my method is combining the really classic, it's called the pop-up move. So it looks like a coin, and I place it on my hand, but I'm just retaining this coin. And what I'm doing is that the coin is in the thumb palm. So first of all, I don't really have to palm. Thumb palm is probably the easiest palm anybody could do. You just really just clip your thumb like that. I could even thumb palm a ring. You can't really do that with, you know, other palm without looking too strange. So here, that's the first startup point. Show a coin, I do a classic palm. And as I pretend to put on here, the coins come back like this.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like a transfer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm using that principle and combining with a little force on my first finger. It allows you to basically shoot the coin out.
Oh, wow.
You see that?
Yeah.
So it starts out with a thumb palm. I use my first finger, and I lightly press it. It escapes right here from the palm. And the thing about this move is that you don't really have to shoot anything too far. Like, this is really all you need for this move. With a muscle pass, it takes a long time to get a really good height.
Right.
And if I'm doing on a side, obviously you can see, you see hand moving like this. So
what's making it go from, what's making it shoot out?
yeah, so once again, the coin goes to a thumb palm. My first finger, index finger, is applying a little force. So imagine this line, this is where you're shooting. I'm going to shoot into my hand. So my first finger, just apply a little bit of pressure there. I'm pretty much doing this. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
You want to make sure it slides this way instead of this way. So where the line of your hand is, that's where it comes out. Your first finger, light pressure, and you just...
Okay.
And it's just a little jolt, you know? And the more you practice, the easier you can get the coin out. So obviously this is exposed view, is just you shoot them like this. And imagine I have something in my hand. It's much easier for you to conceal this. So if I'm holding a coin here, I just come up.
Wow.
You can zoom out a little bit so we can see this a little better. And this is even better if you have a pen. So imagine this. Imagine I have a coin, I have a pen here. Put the first coin there, there's no false transfer. They see the coin there, the coin can be signed. Take the pen, and the coin vanishes on the floor.
And the coin vanishes.
Let me try that one more time. You start out with the coin here, could be signed, whatever, close here, take the pen, and I wave, and the coin disappears.
Wow, looks great.
So as long as you have something in your hand, you know, even that looks good. So from here, you just really just shoot into your hand. As I pass my hand over. Once again, it goes like that. And you can just do an action if you're reaching for something.
That's great.
So in this trick, it's not a really good example of the whole trick, but I want to show you the idea behind just, you know, different ways that you can do this. So once again, what's great about this is that I can have multiple coins in my hand, and I can still shoot the coin. So I could have 2 coins there. I just get one ready, put that into a thumb palm. So the other 2 is just resting. 1 is ready to be shot. I take the pen, wave over, 1 is gone. And then I could do it again, you know, get that second one ready, shoot over, another one's gone. So you can, you can kind of just keep doing that, you know, as much as you want. So with the 3-coin trick, first I just have the coin retained in my hand. Friction, it's called a friction pass or something, friction palm, whatever. You use your friction and you just toss everything to the hand. Retain 1 coin. Make the first one vanish, right? Not visual, it's just the first phase. Now, as you can see, I kind of position this coin into a fingertip here. Close my hands, and now this coin is ready to be shot. So as I show this coin, I usually like to flick it up in the air to kind of show that there's only 1 coin in my hand. So you see the coin travel from here to here. As I reach my hand over, I shoot the coin to this hand, and I catch it, okay? Or I can wave over whatever method you like to use.
Yeah.
So from here, close my hand, and you can make the sound, show that second coin has vanished. The last coin is great because I use them as a natural misdirection for them to grab on my wrist.
Right.
So this coin, I get ready again here. You always want to start on your thumb, your first finger, because when I close my hand, it goes straight into the position. From here, 2 coins, I say, could you hold your hand out, Chris? So first we want to make a fist first. Show 2 coins, could you hold your hand? I want to grab on my wrist. And as I go from here to grab on my wrist, that's when I do the steal. So put your hand away for a second. Here, grab on my wrist, And the trick is already done, right? I have 2 coins. I drop everything into my hand, make a magic moment, show the coins gone, and it's travel.
It's awesome.
So it's just a little utility coin device, coin move, not device.
Yeah. It's a coin thing.
Coin thing, yeah, this is called coin thing on a DVD. Let me show you another quick variation. It's kind of cute, I would say.
This is cute.
So I have a ring here and a curl palm. So if you're doing this angle, you can see I can show my hand kind of empty like this. Close my hand, take the coin, and I'll drop it here. Okay, so that way it doesn't clink with this ring. Goes there. Get to the position. Now I take the pen, wave it over. Turns into a ring. Yay!
That's awesome. That is cute.
Another thing, if you want to pan up a little bit, let's see if we can nail this. Pan it up a little bit. So the key is that you can actually get it to go to your pocket. Might not work, but let's just give it a shot. So you show your hand like this, show the ring, goes there, come up here. Obviously,
You can do it.
whatever. So you can also try to dish in your pocket
Yeah.
as well.
That's awesome. Here
One thing I like to do is that if you have a sweater, and it's also just a great way to do kind of like a top it move. Or another way is you have a sleeve here. Imagine I have a sleeve here. I can have a coin here, and as I rub on the back of my hand, you just literally just shoot this
Shoot it in your
into your
sleeve.
sleeve. Yeah. Make it
That's
vanish.
great.
So you can do a lot of things with this. So just a little coin move. I call it the coin thing.
The coin
Yeah,
thing.
play around with it.
The coin thing, the ring thing, everything.
Yes, and just a quick little thing. If you do kind of like a matrix kind of trick, right? Like where the last card, this move where you have to go like this or the move. I don't really do that move.
Yeah.
You can use this too because the last card you can go like this. Oops, sorry. Get the coin there, wave over, and make the last coin really disappear, just like that. So yeah, many
great.
things you can play around with.
Love
that
it.
idea.
Nice. So let's talk about this creative process.
Sure.
So do you come up with the concept first and then you figure out how to do it, or do you usually see something and then you are like, man, that could be used for this or that could be used for that?
Yeah, there are many ways. Sometimes, a lot of time it's more of like a variation of something that you see, and you just think, oh, maybe it'd be cool if I can adapt it to this.
Something else, right.
First, I think you gotta set like your magic standard first of like. Now, I work on TV before, so obviously trying to get things to be as organic as possible. Imagine if you can be on TV, right? You don't want like a weird prop looking. You want to try to think of what could that prop be, or what could it be, or like especially card tricks. You never see people do a card sandwich effect on TV. That's so you got to think about it that way of what is organic. And for me, just trying to streamline everything to kind of fit in that area. So first, I think just setting a standard first of what you consider yourself as like good visual magic, or like the style you're trying to approach. Then you just apply every trick that you see into that style. For example, sometimes it's also good to kind of see a trailer of a trick or something, and you only see part of it. Maybe you see a prop, maybe you see a hole in the pen, but you don't watch the whole thing.
Right.
And you just kind of like trying to visualize what that trick would be and how you would do it.
Yeah.
A lot of time is reverse engineering stuff. We're seeing concepts online or movies. It's funny, I was working on a TV show, and sometimes laymen come up with a more unique concept too. So this one girl that I work with, she saw a leather jacket on the chair. She was like, oh, it'd be cool. You put a leather jacket on the chair, and you whip out the jacket, and the chair turned into a leather seat. And then the jacket changed into like a wooden pattern, like a transpo.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Basically, that's just a transposition, but like the idea and concept is cool. So first, like don't be afraid of like dreaming of an effect. A lot of time work on TV, obviously you get much bigger budget, right? And so you can kind of dream of an effect.
Right.
And it's good to always dream of like, what would you do if you have a shit ton of money?
Yeah.
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
You have a lot of money to do something and spend without thinking about too much of a cost.
Right.
If you can really build anything, right? Like, what would be the most magical thing?
Yeah.
And so just stuff like that, like seeing a gum, or sometimes like you study the property of an object. For example, like a ring, right? A ring has a hole. What can you do with this? can you link something? You know, the ring is made of one metal piece.
Right.
There's no seam. Be cool if you can link this to something.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of time it's about just toying around with an object. A pen, you know, there's cap involved. You know, there's a little clip here. Maybe you can use that for palming or something.
Right.
There's a compartment here. Maybe you can hide something there. Maybe you can, you know, so just
Yeah.
kind of like study the
Right.
property of stuff. And before I get started in this, you know, I used to do a lot of Skype jam with Kalen.
Mm-hmm.
This is way before the Magic Lab happened. And when he was doing his 365
Right.
block of thing, and you know, I was really impressed by his stuff. And one thing I learned a lot from him is that he's not afraid to just spend money and build stuff.
Mhm.
Even though you're not selling stuff, right? He just loves to make stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And he always have his tools around with him, like pen and knife, a thread, magnets, glue, whatever. It's always good. One thing I learned is don't be afraid of ruining stuff and building stuff.
Right.
When you have an idea, just go out and buy stuff and make it. See if it works or not. Magic is all about testing. Whether it works or not, you know, it's always going to be a lot of things that's not going to work out like you think.
Right.
So first think in your head, then try to make it. So I think, you know, learning how to build stuff is also very important, you know, because sometimes you have an effect in your head. And if you never make it, then the trick is never made.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's one thing I learned recently. That's why I carry this with me now. Every time I travel, do a show or consulting for a program or something, it's always nice to have a kit, a toolkit that I can literally just, if I have an idea, just build from the simple stuff I have. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to show you here.
That's great.
This is actually a bag that my mom gave it to me, so that's why it explains a little crazy pattern.
We'll call it a satchel.
But I think this is for cosmetic or something. I don't know, but it's fine. It works fine. She gave this to me. It fits. So I found this
Oh, wow.
cutting board. You know, a lot of time cutting board is so big. I want something small enough that I can make stuff. So it's nice to have a cutting board. Very important. It's also good. I found the website Super Magnet Man. Super Magnet Man. That's a
Super
website.
Magnet
They
Man.
have very good selection of magnets. This one is super tiny. You can't even see it.
Is that the one that you use for?
No, this is for something else,
Something
but
else?
this is like
Oh, wow.
tiny. They're actually like probably like 15 magnets in that little 1 centimeter.
What?
You see that? Super
Oh
tiny.
wow.
So yeah, they
crazy.
have all selections of different kinds of magnets there. So cutting board, very important. Magnets, for me, I love magnets because magnets make everything a lot more cleaner. You know, so magnets for me is my best friend. Magnets. A bag in here. Obviously, I have a lot of things here. Got Sharpie, pencil, X-Acto knife is very important. So learn how to use knife is really good too. To be able to carve out a certain part of the
right.
card, cut bills. Don't use scissors. These are always much better, more precise.
Right.
This is also very good too because I went to school for graphic design. This is not really sure what this is called. A scroll.
Oh,
You
okay.
use a scroll card. So
Oh,
if,
yeah,
if I
yeah.
want to fold something without cracking on the card,
Right.
I put a ruler down and I use this. You can buy this from like Hobby Lobby
Okay.
and tools. So you just got a really nice edge there and you just score the card. And that you can fold a perfect fold.
Really.
And a lot of time, if you notice, when you fold the card, it always crack.
Right.
So by using this, you're creating kind of like an indentation on
Right.
the
So it
card or the
doesn't
paper.
crack.
It falls perfectly, super nice and clean. So this is nice to have. Pencil, yeah, and different type of glue. I have scissors, small one. Different kind of tapes. So these are good for like bills and cards and stuff. So this one is kind of like, it's called magic tape, I think. It's like invisible,
Gotcha.
like a matte
Right.
finish. Double-sided tape, I'm sure this is like everyone's best
Best friend, right.
Double-sided tape is so good. Again, a lot of magnets. So I use a shim metal here to kind of like store all my magnets. They're all kind of being stuck now. But I have all types of magnets in here in case I need to build a gimmick with cards, coins, and all that stuff. Rubber cement, magician's best friend as well. I use this almost for anything for gluing because, you know, you can glue something, peel it off, and nothing is ruined. You
Right.
know? Rubber cement eraser. A lot of people actually don't know that there's
Oh,
something
really?
like this. Have you seen this before?
No.
So great, because like imagine I take the bill, the gimmick bill, I peel it in half, and you get that residue, right?
Right.
Usually people just use their hand
Right.
to like rub them off
Yeah.
into like a little ball. But if you know this rubber cement sticks to each other,
Right.
so this kind of acts as that. So I take this, you just brush everything off, and
Is
you
it
don't.
waxy?
I don't know. It's really weird. It's like
Oh, it
rubber
is.
look.
Yeah.
feeling.
It is kind of like the same consistency as a.
Yeah. So this is pretty much like a giant ball of rubber cement, pretty much.
That's
but like you
awesome.
take this, you brush everything off, and you don't get any like those little residue
Right.
on your table. So if you do this on a close-up mat and you want to clean up, just take this, clean off. So you can buy this in a craft store too. Recyclable glue is one more thing. It's also great. Recyclable glue is a glue that you can apply for something. It's
And
not
just-
permanent, so you can
Yeah.
stick kind of like a post-it note. And one more thing is great to have is elastic thread.
Perfect.
You know, elastic thread is great as well. You can make thing flap
Do you-
and all that stuff.
Do you have the magnets that you use for that bill effect?
I don't. Let me see. Just that one was really thin. I got that one from Sans Mines. They're especially thin. These are the one I got from the site though. So this one can be used as well. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm gonna take one piece
Super
out
small.
here. Super tiny. Very thin. Okay, so these I use them for the bill. You can buy these from the site, Super Magnet Man.
Are these the same?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
same.
So let's see if you got.
Yeah, very thin. Okay, so these are great for bill because they're not too big but strong enough to you know
Right.
close and stuff. So
Crazy.
yeah, so I think by having these around with you, it also makes you a little bit more creative too because it allows you to just be able to make things that you have in your mind.
Right.
And so yeah, don't be afraid to ruin things because a lot of time with magic you always like
Right.
cut things out and money and all that stuff. So don't be afraid, just go all out. and
Right.
You'll be surprised of things that you come up with.
Yeah. Great. I love
A lot of time, you know, it's me toying around with cards. It's all about like just playing around with stuff, and that's why I come up with most of my card trick as well.
it. Right.
Okay, so let me show you a new trick I've been playing around with. This is based on a classic effect. I'm sure you have seen many people have done this. I'm sure you've done this before too, but this is my take on it. And they get to keep something to talk about later.
Souvenir.
So I'm gonna tell you what it is, Jeff.
Okay.
So turn around, take any card you want, show it to the camera, make sure I don't see it. Got it?
Yes. I'm not gonna show you.
Okay, just cut anywhere you want and place that card on that pile you cut to.
Got
Complete
it.
the cut,
Complete.
square up everything, and just do one more cut just to be safe. Perfect.
Okay.
Good. So your card is somewhere in this deck. Any idea where your card is?
No idea.
Okay, hold your hand out. I'm going to try and eliminate down the cards, hopefully down to one card that you're thinking of. Okay, so I'm going to cut about half first. I think your card is in this pile. So I think it's in this pile. I'm not sure. I'm going to narrow it down to maybe 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From half to 5 cards only, like a poker hand. So I'm going to show you all the cards. If you see your card, don't tell me which one, okay?
Okay.
Keep like, just do the best poker face you can. 10 of spade, 4 clubs, 5 of spade, 2 of spade, and 5 of diamonds, okay? Put the deck away. Do you see your card by chance?
I did.
You did? Great, great. So 5, I'm going to narrow down to 1.
Okay.
But before we start, can you take your phone out?
Yes.
I'm going to fan these out like a poker fan, poker cards. Open the camera.
Oh, sorry. Camera. Got it.
Perfect. Give me the phone. I want you to hold your hand like this. And I want you to hold like this. The camera, get the shot. We got 5 cards here. Make the best poker face. Think about your card. I'm going to take a photo right now. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So out of all these 5 cards, we got the 10 of spade, 4 of clubs, 5 of spade, 2 of spade, 5 of diamonds. I'm going to name out each card. I want you to say no to every card. Okay?
Crap.
I'm going to try to
Okay.
figure out which one based on your face. 10 of spade.
No.
4 of clubs.
No.
5 of spade.
No.
2 of spade.
No.
5 of diamonds.
No.
I think I got it. You're not really good at keeping your face. So hold this. Imagine that maybe one of those cards is the card that I need for my hand, and I'm going to try to take that card out from you, take it away from you. Okay, so imagine I take that card out. Black card, spade. To the 5 of spade.
Yes.
5 of spade out in my hand. Can you see it?
No.
I'll put it away for a second. Now, not only that I take it from here, because if you can see now, you have 5 cards, and you saw 5 cards. You only have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards now.
What?
Your card is gone from here. You were just holding 5 cards. But even better, before we started, I took a picture of you holding the cards, right?
Come on, man.
In the picture, it also changed as well. Boom, you see 5 of spade, it's no longer there. He's only holding 4 cards right there. You see it?
What?
Your card's completely gone. probably wondering where the 5 of spade is.
I am.
I actually toss it back in the deck. You see it? One card right there in the center. The 5 of spade.
Come on. Dude, I saw 5 cards when I was holding it.
Have you seen this? Did I show you this before?
No.
So this is pretty much like my take on the Biddle trick. I call it the modern Biddle. Modern Biddle trick. Using a phone. But my goal for creating this trick is that I want them to keep something here, you know? This is a little bit unusual of a photo. They're holding 5 cards. People are used to poker cards, right?
Right.
Like a poker hand, like 5 cards. So by seeing 4, you know, they could kind of tell a little bit story that what I want, my goal, ultimate goal for this effect is that I want them to say this. If I show this to a friend and say, what happened? I was holding 5 cards and he took 1 card out and put it back in the deck and I only have 4 cards.
Right.
Right? The whole trick, they're not going to mention that, you know, they pick a card, they cut the card, cards go here, I narrow down to 5 cards, they name the card, I took the card out, take a photo. When they describe this trick, they're going to say, in this picture, I had 5 cards and he took 1 card out and I only have 4 in the picture. That's really like all I want to say
crazy.
to other people. And that, you know, make the trick even better. So
I don't think you should teach it.
I'm actually going to teach you how to make it on the
Okay.
spot. So
Awesome.
believe it or not, you can actually make this gimmick in 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the gimmick?
So this is the gimmick card. This is a little bit more advanced of a method. On this, I'm going to teach you just a more simple way. I add magnets on there, of course. But basically, it's a little flap of a card hiding in there.
Ah.
You really saw 5 cards though, right?
Yeah, I did.
So check this out. This is 1 card with a flap hiding inside. Now, when I first created this, I was like, well, I want, it's like a double exposure effect, you know, where Austin does. If I want to hold 4 cards like this, I mean, I thought about, oh, if I put a fake back here, it would never look the same though, because the cut
Right.
of the card. What if I add a flap on the front, right? Just a simple flap like this. Then I can't show the front. Or what if I add a flap on the back? Then I can't show the back. It's like, I'm going to put it between 2 cards.
It's great.
So it looks crazy right now because of the magnets, but I'm going to teach you how to do this very simple. You don't need magnets. I just prefer to add magnets just to keep the card even thinner. But this, check this out. When I put this here, it looks like
So
5
good.
cards. Right? On this side.
What?
So you're playing this dual reality with people right now. And there's a lot of convincer at the end when I was calling out the cards. And that is to delay the effect.
Right.
I'm already done like way ahead of time. And so by doing this, check this out, there's many cool things. So I could show like this, 4 cards. I miscall the card, right? So I say your card was a 5, let's say the 2 of spade in this case. Name a card, say watch. I want to imagine take this card out. So you can do that vanish.
Dude.
I'm not really doing anything. All I'm doing
No.
is that I pretend to place
turning
this
it
card
over.
here, and I put it here, and it vanished, right? So I show 4 cards here. So all I'm doing is just tilt my hand down, and the card's already gone. So it's like the most simple like card vanish you can do.
This is worth the whole entire lecture.
Yeah, right? And all you have to do to close the gimmick, I square everything up. You see the little flap? Push in, and it's close, and I can show like this for
Wow.
both sides. So I'm going to teach you how to make this now.
Okay.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
So just get a couple cards. So you have any scrap cards?
I don't.
Here,
I'm
just
sure
use,
we have.
got these
okay.
Mirage cards. And I'm going to take out 2 cards as well. First, you need a pair of scissors. All you need is really just tape and scissors. Very simple. Like that.
And double stick.
No, just double-sided tape
Okay.
and just a regular tape.
Okay.
Okay, very simple. So you actually need 3 cards for this trick. So we use that,
Okay.
3 cards. So first, take any card you want, and you want to trim. So if the camera can zoom in a little bit. So actually, let's use those. That way we can keep that card to use for your stuff as well. So just take the card, and you just pick any card you want, doesn't matter. You want to trim about this much. Okay, so camera can zoom in. You see that little corner? You don't want it to be too big, but you want to kind of trim it kind of close to the index here. So I'm going to cover that. You see that white part? Trim that amount.
So about like that.
A little less than that.
Less.
Yeah, until
Okay.
trim that. So this gimmick would take less than 2 minutes. I've done this on a spot too, and what's nice about this is that you can just make the gimmick onto any deck. There's no special flap, no thread. It's super simple. Perfect. You got the corner. Take any card you want. You want to take the tape, and you want to just glue the card down. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to open this out so you can see the card there. You basically just put the corner on the side, on the extreme edge, and just put the tape over like that. So, like this, align it up to the edge, and just put a big strip of tape there.
Okay.
Now make sure to use this glossy tape though. This is a gloss finish tape, and I'll tell you why. This lasts a lot longer than the matte one. So just
So you go right on the edge like that.
no, a little
Or
bit overlapping.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a little piece out, cut this out, and you can just put this on this little piece first. Align this up like this, and just put it down.
Perfect.
So this is not a good example. So you want to make sure the corners show as much as possible.
Okay.
You don't want to be too low either, because that looks strange. So you want to try to go
Have it
as
down.
high as you can, and just make sure it shows enough. Okay, so that goes on there. As you can see, there's a little excess piece there. Just trim that out. Boom. Done. Now with this tape, check this out. It's almost like a flap here.
Is
that cool?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I just push down. There's a natural spring on the card. You can see it acts as a spring by itself.
And that's only with this.
That's only with the tape.
Wow.
So very simple. I like things to be simple.
Yeah.
So again, once you finish that, you take a double-sided tape, cut it, put on the other edge of the card on this side. Okay? And that is only to give me another card. 10 of clubs. That goes on top. You want to align it up like that. Press, and you're finished. That's the
Dude.
gimmick.
It's great.
Super simple. To start a trick, just fold everything in. That's it. Check this out. I just go like this.
Wow.
So you can even do this.
Self-working.
So you can even do this. Check this out. This is kind of neat. So you can have the card here, put your finger there, and then the card appear. I don't know. So very
It's like
simple.
that shade gimmick.
And this does many things. First, it acts as a thick card principle. I use this as a key card in my effect. So right now, this card is a little thicker. So when I spread the cards, I can feel where they are. Do you have a bicycle deck with you by chance?
George, can you get a bicycle?
So
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm just going to run through the routine. That way you can kind of follow me. Very, very easy. So this card does many things. It makes Biddle Trick a little bit more visual. A lot of time with Biddle Trick, you never get to see 5 cards. A lot of time you have to do all the false count. And hopefully they are convinced that there are 5 cards, right? So the setup, very simple. Take the deck, and just remember this card, 2 of spade, okay? Make sure to take out the dupe, because that happens to me many times, is that I have the same card in the deck,
Right.
and it's really weird. Sometimes you run into the same card,
Okay.
and it looks like 2 of spade, and then 2 of spade, you know, it's
Right.
really weird. So make sure to take that out. That help you solve the issue. So first, I take this card, I put it second to the bottom,
Okay.
okay? Second from the bottom, the rest goes
So
on top.
this 1, 2.
It's just random 2
Okay.
cards. Gimmick card, make sure the opening side is pointing on my right.
Okay.
And the rest of the deck goes on top, okay?
Perfect.
Perfect, we got a deck here, so you can try this out too.
Alright.
This trick is really not that much sleight of hands involved, really. If you know the classic Biddle trick already, you should be able to perform this right away. And we have a clip of me doing this on TV as well, and you can see the reaction. You know, maybe we can insert that as well, so you can kind of see how people react on that on TV. So take the deck,
So I want to take out the
Gimmick cards.
clubs.
yeah, so place any 2 cards on the bottom. Remove the matching cards.
Magic. Alright, magic. Okay.
2 cards, place on the table. Gimmick card, make sure the opening, so you can see one side is sealed, the other side opens, right? Put that, make sure it's pointing to your right. So if you're left-handed, point to your left. Gimmick card goes there, the rest goes on top. Perfect. They pick any card you want. And then you cut the card, they place this card down, put the gimmick card on top. So it acts as a key card. Right now, I don't know where the card is, but I know that it's a key card and 2 indifferent card and then selection.
Right.
So right now I know my gimmick card is 2 cards, 3 cards above.
Right.
At this point, I ask them to cut another small packet. Because right now, when you cut, and this gimmick is really old, so the camera can zoom in, you can actually see that little black
Little
line
fade.
there. Yeah, right? You can, so I've been using this a lot. So I asked them to cut a small packet of cards. So they cut that, and then they complete the cut. What this does is also bring this gimmick really close to the top on the upper half. Okay? At this point, you just cut, and if you don't know where the card is, you can always just check on the other side. So as you can see here, I can see the line there. I know where the card is. This side, you can't really see anything. So for you to check, just quickly peek and make sure it's just on the upper half.
Okay.
If it's on the bottom half, just make sure you have the bottom half in your hand.
Okay.
Pick up half, and now
So are you cutting to the? You're not cutting to the gimmick. You're cutting
you,
past.
you gotta cut past gimmick. So
Okay.
if you see it, so let's say somehow they cut it and your gimmick card is like way down in the center.
Right.
I would cut a small packet, just make sure that the gimmick card is
Okay.
near the top.
Okay.
Okay? Cut more than you think you should cut to, so just in case. So at this point, in your presentation, you're gonna narrow down to 5 cards. You don't even have to look on this point, just count 1. And if you don't look, and you can feel it, you can actually feel that the card is thicker. Can you feel it? You can find it,
Okay.
right, without looking?
Yeah.
So at this point, I can even look away and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go through like this and maybe trying to find 5 cards. So the first card is a random card. The
Okay.
up-jogging random card. Second card, you wanna find a thick card.
Okay.
So you don't want that card to be too deep. Otherwise, it looks weird to go too far
Right.
to pick out the second one. So get out the second card, the thick card. Then I know if I count 1, 2, the third one is a selection.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah. So this is my gimmick card.
The
so
gimmick
you have
card,
one.
and then you count 1, 2, and the third
All right.
one.
Okay.
You updraw. And then the other 2, sometimes I have people pick the other 2
Okay.
cards. So it feels really fair and random, messy.
Right.
This is what I want. Your right hand, you're gonna come pivot like this, and you're gonna pivot the cards around, turn over. So now, the reason I place that card on a third position is to centralize that card.
Okay.
So now, I don't know what the card is, but I know right now it's the middle cards. In your
Right.
case, it's the king of clubs. My case, 7 of spades.
Okay.
You're going to do the classic biddle steal, right? So 7 of clubs, show the card. Third one, hold the break below it. The deck will come in. You're going to steal that card on the break, and then you deal the gimmick card to the top and complete the 5 cards. The rest goes down there. The deck is never in play until the very end, which is nice.
Right.
Because most biddle trick, it's really close between vanishing the card to the deck. But this trick is so delayed that the deck just feel like it's just been sitting there
Right.
forever and didn't do anything in there. So right now, you should only have 4, right? You want to pick the top and you turn it in for end like this. Okay. At this point, if I just count 1, 2, it should reach over to the gimmick gap. You want to open into that little gap. Can you feel the gap?
Yeah.
And the card flap is there. For the new card, if you bend down enough, it should spring out by itself.
Right. Easy.
Right? Show the camera. So once again, when you first make this card, the spring is really springy. So when this is closed, just pick up 2 and check this out. If I just bend my finger down,
Really
it
easy.
just comes out.
Yeah.
But this is all done with my right hand covering. See? It's done. So at this point, I asked them to take out their camera. At this point, people, and I always put my phone in my right pocket, but when people ask me to take out my phone, I'm always like,
Right.
they're looking everywhere. So you have so much time for you to go like this and get to the card. And let's say the card doesn't spring out anymore. Just use your thumb. Go inside, my hand is covering here. Casually open it like this. At this point, you should have positioned something like this with the corners sticking out, yes? Now, you want to pinch on the bottom left. Pinch tight, and then just casually spread over based on that point. And you want to hide the flap.
Hide it.
Yeah. Perfect. You can see 5?
Yep.
So, it's very casual. Take this, simply you can do this in front of them, just fan like this. And it looks like you just fan out 5 cards. From the front, just make sure you hide that card so they can see that.
That's great.
So at this point, I give this to them to hold on to their hand. They see 5 cards on their side. Now, when I perform this to a large group, what I do is that I say, everybody, when I take a group photo, everybody go here. And imagine you're doing this on a gig. And people just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like there's like people gathering, taking like a big picture, so you really make this like really big, and it just built more suspense. And
Right.
people are like, what are they doing? So it's a great way of kind of like, attracting the people to look at your stuff. So again, do this, obviously, because the reason I have people on the same side, because they can't see this side. There's only 4.
Right.
5, I have everything, and I'll show you a picture that we did on TV. You see there's like probably like 10 people just standing behind the camera, and you get this
That's
awesome
awesome.
picture, And yeah, so you got 5 cards.
Yep.
They hold on to this. I snap a photo of this, which is only 4 cards. Obviously, memorize the card. So as I'm dealing the steal, as I name each one, the only card you have to memorize is their card.
Okay.
So you remember your card? It's the King of Clubs.
You king clubs off.
See, you gotta memorize
Yes,
it.
yeah.
So as you deal, memorize that card, because in a second, I'm going to miscall the card and make them feel like their card is still in there, because that's really important.
Okay.
Is to really sell that card is still
Right.
there. So I have 5 cards. I can point my finger like this, and you can see it looks like I'm pointing 5 cards. From your side. Look.
So good.
7 of clubs, 4 of diamonds, 2 of spade, King of clubs, 4 of clubs. So I'm just miming my finger,
Right.
and it looks like I'm pointing out all 5 cards. That's just a
So
little
good.
subtlety
Right.
to really sell the effect. They say, yes, I heard my card, or whatever presentation you want to do. You close everything into a bitter grip. You see that corner still sticking out, and use my middle finger. You simply just push that in to the gap, right?
So easy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I put this in their hand, put their hand on top. Make sure the opening side is pointing away, because that's the bad side you don't want to show, right? That goes into their hand, whatever presentation you want. Take the card out from the deck. Gone. You can name the card out as you take it out. They can cleanly
Boom.
show the card. Card is gone. Now, just make sure you're not flashing this side. Show the card, 4 cards, and then back to the deck. And then
They're
they can look at the
left with
picture.
Souvenir.
And they live with the picture, yeah. So I teach this on my lecture note as well, on my website, patrickkuhn.com. I have a little bit more detail on there if you want to check out more detail and subtlety on there.
Okay.
Along with some other cool
Nice.
tricks. So yeah,
Love it.
this trick I call the modern biddle. I love cell phone stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like it just makes the trick a little bit more modern and involving their phone, and just make this card trick a little bit less than a card trick.
Yeah.
I want to show you one more trick though.
Yeah.
Using social media. I'll show you why this is great. I'm going to show you, let me just try this. So, you have your phone? Do you have Instagram by chance?
I do. I do.
Open Instagram.
Instagram.
Perfect. Can you go to my account?
Yes.
Patrick Kuhn. Perfect. Now, this is done with a borrow phone, okay? So, let me see, you can go on here. I want to show you one picture. I have one here. I uploaded this picture about a week ago. It's a picture of a card. Can the camera zoom in a little bit so we can see this? Camera zoom in. Perfect. You can see the card there. There's one red bicycle bag.
Yes.
Okay, so I just open in the phone and say, do you know what that card is? No idea. We're going to randomize, we're going to pick this card randomly. So I want you to imagine I have another deck in my hand.
Okay.
Another invisible deck. I carry a lot of invisible deck. Save a lot of space in my pocket. In this deck, we have picture cards, number cards. Imagine we only take half of them out from the box. Which one you want to take out? Picture cards, number cards.
Picture.
Picture cards, we have jacks, queens, and kings.
King.
Kings, we got a red kings and a black kings.
Red.
Red kings. Now this card, believe it or not, from your phone, this is actually a red king.
No.
This is a red king. King of diamonds or king of hearts?
Diamonds.
King of diamonds. Watch closely on the camera. 1, 2.
Ugh.
One card comes out from here. You said king of what?
Diamonds.
King of diamonds. Right there.
What?
King of diamonds.
So good.
The best part is I leave this phone. They can take the phone back. They can open the picture. They can check. There's nothing, no app, no nothing. And you leave
And this
them.
is with a spectator
This
phone.
is with a borrow phone. And then you leave them with this
Possible.
Instagram account on their phone. So it's a great way to promote this too. Now I've done this on TV before, and you know what? It's a great way to self-promote yourself.
So
And
good.
yeah, you get
And now I'm
one
following
way,
you.
and then
I'm
you can
following
follow
you.
me. You just
Yeah.
unfollow me.
Yeah. Did I? Probably didn't know.
Okay, so this is great. This is one of my favorite tricks. I've been developing this trick for a long, long time. And the version I've done before, I used to use the card to phone app, and I'm sure we all know that app. You know, you can produce Oreo,
Yeah.
a coin, a bill, or a cards. And Yeah, the problem with that app is that it looks a little bit too fake. Like when a card appears, it's just animated. And it makes no sense. You know, a lot of time people do a phone trick. They take the phone, make a card appear, and they pull something out. It feels like an app. It's too
Right.
fake. I was thinking like, well, it'd be cool if I can do this and make it a little bit more story around it, is to use Instagram. Social media, you know, like everyone has social media now. It's a great way. Again, I want to leave them with something they could talk about.
Right.
So at this point, they take my phone, they go back to see the picture, they show it to their friend and say, on my Instagram, he borrowed my phone, I name any card, and then the card comes out from it. Great,
So
right?
good.
Easy, simple for them to
Right.
describe. No, there was a card there.
Yeah. And that picture isn't on the Instagram with the card.
Yeah,
You can't find it.
For me, you know, it's like I said before, in the creative process, is to take something that you like and just try to make it better. Try to aim to that like TV level, you know.
Right.
I'm not saying this is like TV stuff, but I'm saying like
It's a great effect.
you try to improve it, and you know. So this way, involving social media I think is a good way to
Okay.
self promote and stuff. So first of all, this is a new product I'm releasing. It's called the Minimal Index System, or the name of the trick is called Caption, and it comes with the index system here. So these are not for sale yet, but I'm sure Murphy would carry this as well. So what I have here, a lot of time, I love index. I love the idea of them feel like they name any card in the deck, and then you produce something out, right? So this is my version of an index system. Ryan Edward also working with me, and he handmade this one, so really great. The only problem with most index on the market is that it's too big. And you can't I wear like skinny jeans.
Right.
And you know, without a jacket or hoodie, it's really hard to carry an index system on them.
Right.
So I try to minimize the system, make it as small as possible.
And that's the only one you have.
Was
That's
that?
like there's only one.
Yeah, and this
on it.
actually, look, it really fit on my pants pocket here.
It's crazy.
It's, you know, you can't see it.
That's it.
So with this, you actually get 12 outs. All the chord cards are covered. So each card is gimmicked. So if I show this, you can see I have Jack of Diamonds and Jack of Hearts. This allows me to compress the system down to be smaller, and also allows you to be one step ahead. So this is going to be available later on the website nouveaudesignco.com,
Okay.
and also with Murphy as well. So check them out. But I just want to show you the principle and the trick that you can do with the new Instagram feature. So check this out. The new Instagram feature has the collage sliding feature now,
Yeah.
right? That you can upload multiple photos. So what I do is that here I have a video of me doing a dapping with a card flourishing. But if I open this, when I slide it, you actually see I have a card picture hiding in here.
Hidden.
And I have the same background in the back. So this allows me to seemingly taking the
Slide
card
it
out.
off.
But it's actually photo sliding from one to the other.
Right.
And you can do this with many things. So by combining this with the card in the back, you really can see the card. Let me try this again. From here, it really feels like the
So
cards just
good.
come out
Yeah.
from their borrow phone. Okay? So what I do to clean up, because obviously that picture, when I first come up with this, I just come up with like this and I pull it out. And then, but this photo is not examinable. Because if they go back to my account, then be like, oh wait, there's multiple
Right.
cards, right? So what I do now, I upload another photo, a fake one here. You see this one, the same background, and this is just a normal photo, no sliding built in. So this is just a flat, normal photo hiding in there. So my real gimmick photo, the dirty one, is hiding behind this video.
Dabbing.
Yeah, behind the dapping video, so you can see there. So what I do, I ask them to name a card. Now, what's nice about this gimmick as well is that it's a chord cards, right? So it's Jack, Queen, and King. Jack, Queen, King. They name one.
Jack.
Jack. My thumb and my first finger just goes on there. Which one do you want? Hearts or I mean the red jacks or black jack?
Black.
Black. So my finger can, or I just palm this card already. So I have a blackjack here. I load this behind my phone. As I display, transfer to another hand. Club or spade. So at this point, the index work is already done, and my hand is far away from the pocket. This is a borrowed phone, so there's obviously nothing hiding in the back. Jack spade or jack of clubs?
Spades.
So at this point, it doesn't matter what card they name because it's a double index, so I can
Right.
pull out any card you want from here. Just put my thumb here, take out the card, open.
You just
I look for the back and check this out. This is kind of neat. On a jack of spade, I can put my finger here to cover half of the clubs,
So
and that
neat.
looks like a jack of spade,
Yeah.
right? If I turn this upside down and I hold the bottom half, that looks like a club. So it's much better than holding like this, because that
Right.
looks like you're hiding something.
Yeah, I love
But
that.
when your finger just kind of holding like this, you can see a little bit of the corner in there. That looks like a jack of clubs. So it doesn't matter what card they name, you show the card, boom, the effect is done. Put the card, fold this, put this in my back pocket. And to clean up, check this out, here's a switch. So this is the gimmick one with the card sliding, right? All I have to do is just press back. And then the first thing they see
It's the blank.
is that blank photo.
Yeah.
And I give this to them, and they would I guarantee they would open that picture, they're gonna try to slide it, and there's nothing in there. So that's just a very simple switch.
And then
Again,
they'll follow
here,
you.
card comes out, go back, reopen the other one, it's a switch.
Done.
And now they can check out your phone.
So good. Same thing with the diamonds and hearts. Is it the same cover?
Yes, yeah. And I think I just kind of discovered this, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people know that. But same thing with this. Check this out. If the camera can zoom in, if I hide like this, that looks like diamonds, right? The bottom half. And if I hide this, that looks like hearts.
So good. So good.
That's something I
So
actually
smart.
didn't know. So this is just a nice little touch you can do with the double index. So yeah, when you get this, you get the whole system, you get the whole trick, and everything's included.
So good.
One more thing I think is kind of neat with this too is that I like to do card under watch. So imagine this. Imagine that you're a female, and most likely you would probably name a red queen. Doesn't matter queen of hearts or queen of diamonds. What I do, I have this in my pocket. I would take the red queen. This is a red queen, diamonds and hearts. The rest goes to my pocket. I ask them to hold their hand out. So let's say they hold their hand out. I load this on the watch. Right? So imagine you have a watch
Yeah.
right there, holding like this. They don't know what it is. I say, I have a deck of cards there. I want to imagine we've got picture cards, number cards. You just force a suit. You force a picture card. Picture cards, jacks, queens, and kings. Which one of those do you like?
Okay.
Let's say the girl would most likely, and you only have 1 out of 6 chance to nail this. So if you get lucky, then the trick is a miracle. If you don't get it, it's still very good.
Right.
So you're kind of like one step ahead, and you take that chance, you know. And I think magic is important to take chance sometimes
Right.
to really get into that miracle level. So red queen, let's say they name red queen, right?
Diamonds.
So they just say red queen for
Oh,
now.
red queen.
Say you
Sorry.
want to imagine that folding the red queen, put it under your watch. Which one do you want?
And diamonds.
Diamonds, turn your hand over. So when they turn their hand over, they already see the card there. You just cleanly take this out and show the queen of diamonds,
Ah,
right?
it's great.
Now, a lot of time when you do card under watch, it's always a dummy card. This is always like a dummy card.
Right.
You have another card that you get it from your pocket, or you fold the card or whatever, you take this out, and you always like switch for the other one.
Right.
But this one, it acts as a dummy card. Also, if you hit it, it becomes a miracle.
So good.
So you can use this for paperclip or a card on the
Yeah.
watch or anything you want. So, you know, most people will say a red queen, and you have 2 options inside. So this is, you know, really great. So it's a utility device you apply for anything. So
So what do you call this?
debating on a name, either minimal index system or caption,
Or index thing?
or just a small index.
Index thing. Small
Cool.
index.
So, yeah, play around with that
Nice, I
Instagram
love
thing.
it.
You know, you could apply that to anything you want.
I noticed Eric Jones is actually doing it.
Yeah, Eric Jones
Yeah.
did it. So this is actually the first. Let me just zoom this in real quick. This is actually the first original idea I came up with. It was just a blank background. So you can see it's blank, and what I do is that I upload the first one just plain white. Second one, I upload the card, then blank, blank. So what I do is that I open the picture, and when I first do it, I would swipe to this one first. Then as soon as I take out the card, I can go back, and they see the blank card there. The only problem for me is that I used to do this, and it just looked like the picture just didn't load or something. It's
Right.
too blank.
Yeah.
So that's why the new version that I did was that I had tried to apply a little bit of background on there, so that it's a little bit more recognizable and doesn't look too plain on your thumbnail as well. So, you know, if you have something horizontal, you can swipe over, and that's a fake one. I just fooled myself. but but when you have something horizontal and it's moving like this,
Right.
you don't really
You can't
see
see
it
it.
move. So I think it's a little bit of an improvement on this principle.
That's awesome.
So yeah, play around with it.
Nice, nice.
Cool.
So you have a couple more things to show us?
Yes, this is one of the most pretty much self-working effect that I created a long time ago. So there's a lot of room for presentation as well. So start off with a deck of cards, and I have one card in my pocket I want to show to you. It's the only odd card we have in this
Okay.
deck. So you can see the back is different. Place that down here, and the goal for this effect is I'm going to try to influence you somehow to pick the same card, the only card that is different than this
Okay.
deck. Okay, so remember that, the only card that is different than a deck. So I'm going to run like this. Anyone you want to say stop for me, please?
Stop.
Right here, we have the King of Hearts. King of Hearts. Any reason why you kind of stop at that point?
I felt.
You felt
Felt it.
You felt something.
I felt it.
Believe it or not, that is the only card that's different than this deck. This blue card, before we started, would you be amazed if that's actually
I
the
would.
King? It's a 6 of clubs. So what you felt is actually not
It's
correct.
not, oh man.
But it's okay. Like I said before, I was going to try to make you pick the only card that's different than the deck. I actually didn't talk about that card. I actually mean the whole deck is actually
What?
all 6 of clubs except for the King of Hearts. But it's not just that. Before we started with a blue card on the table.
Right?
That card is actually just a red card. The
What?
whole deck is actually all red except for one card you picked from the deck.
Wait.
This is the only odd card from this deck.
Come
Blue
on.
card.
That's awesome.
Okay,
I
so
love it.
yeah, I mean, this trick is very old. It's something I created a long time ago, and as you can see, there's a lot of room for improvement, I think. The presentation is still a little bit confusing, but I just like the line of, having them think they're going to pick the only odd card, which she thought is the blue card. Then it was something different, and then there's a little kicker at the
Right.
end. So, very simple. First, just pick up a one-way deck. Murphy carries these, very cheap. You can just buy these, okay? And it's also good if maybe you do some other trick with the regular cards, and then you switch out for this one. So I placed one random card. You can have a few cards too, just a little convincer so they don't see the 6 prematurely.
Right.
So one-way force deck, any card. A good contrast like these are good. Just
Yeah,
make sure they're a
face
little bit
card or
different.
something.
I place one random card on like this.
Bottom.
And another thing you need is a double backer. So one side is red, one side is blue.
Mm.
That goes on top, or you can have it in your pocket. Okay, so once again, the setup is the whole deck, one-way force deck, one random regular red back, and one blue card. Everything goes in the box. And this card could be introduced from your pocket, from the deck, whatever you want. So I start off saying, I'm going to try to make you pick the only odd card in the deck. And you flick like this this is the double backer.
Okay.
I just flick like this. They think I'm going to make them pick this card, the matching card that matched this one or something. I don't know. So this card is placed on the table. Take out the box. Now I do a Hindu shuffle.
shuffle,
Now
yeah.
if you don't know this, you're forcing the bottom card. You're stripping a small packet from the top. Anywhere they want, they say stop. I tap a couple times to delay the effect. Show the card. At this point, I turn my hand like this. My thumb just peel off the king, and as you can see, I'm flashing a 3.
3.
Not a big deal, but it's just a little touch
Right.
for me, They see a king, place this down. I think they pick the red card. Then I place this one back to the bottom. I want to show this card first. So if you want, you can even set the deck down like this, just so that they feel like there's a little bit more choice
Right.
afterward. What I do now, I pick up this deck. I say you're going to pick any card in this deck, obviously face down. And I'm going to do a call of one card to cover that card. So after I force the card, so once again, go like this. They say stop. I tap a couple times, show the card, peel off the king. Make sure not to show the back yet. Peel off the king, show a 3. That could go to the bottom. And so you could pick any of these cards, call one card, that hide that 3. So it becomes a magic effect after. So now I'm clean. Talk about the king. Would it be amazing if that blue card, the only card, matches the same one? You do this, pick up. Since it's a double, since it's a one-way force, it doesn't matter where you cut really, because
Right.
this is going to be the same card anyway. So do a double lift. And what's nice about this double backer with different back is that you really do a clean double lift. So once you turn it over, you can immediately thumb off this card. That's the card is over there. You thumb off this card, place it down. They swear that card is the blue card. So it felt like the trick kind of failed. It didn't match or whatever. And say, oh, actually, I wasn't trying to get you to match these two cards. I was actually trying to influence you to pick the only card that's different than the rest of the deck. Obviously, turn this one over. Make sure not to spread past the blue card. You spread the whole thing, and also maintain the bottom one. Okay, so this show, these are all 6, all different, and the card is the only
good.
card that's different.
That's great.
As a second kicker, I said, remember the blue card? I tried to make you pick. It's actually no longer there. That's actually a red card. Then I pick up everything, spread everything out, show these are all red, and the only card that's different from the beginning is a blue card.
It's awesome. I love
Yeah,
it.
very simple. So let me just run through that
Yeah.
very quickly. Setup is this: one-way force deck, normal back card, the blue card that you're gonna force that goes to the deck. This card being introduced, placed on the table. Hindu force.
So stop.
Stop, tap a couple times. Show the king. Peel off. That one goes to the bottom. You're gonna pick any card. Call one card. Height to the bottom. Boom. Show the bottom change. Show every card is. Oh, sorry, don't do that yet. Pick this one up. Do a double lift. Show the 6. Now you show the whole deck, and from there show the back. Show the back, and then show the back.
It's great.
Okay,
Love
so
it.
very simple. I used to do
Yeah.
this version also with a blank deck, but I think with the one-way force deck, it kind of felt like it was a mistake first.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then the whole deck.
I always like
because
the tricks.
people never
Yeah.
expect you to have 52 cards of all 6 of
Right.
clubs. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so it's something very simple you can do. And this is a good way to kind of tie in with like a 3-card Monty or something too. So you kind of talk about like 3-card Monty. So you start out with the whole deck, and then maybe you can take out, you can maybe tie this with like a stand-up Monty. So you switch
Right.
for like a double phaser or something.
Yeah.
Then you go into a routine of doing this. So
Right.
there's a lot of room that you can play around with this.
Love
yeah.
it. Nice. So you have one more thing to teach, and I'm glad that you are teaching this because you showed me this at Magic Live.
Magic Live, Magic Fest, they all
Magic
blend
Fest,
together.
yeah, one of
Magic
them.
Convention.
Yeah, one of them. One of the Magic conventions. But this is awesome. I love this.
I'm going to show you just my take on a linking ring. And this is a new project I'm working on too. It's called the Halo Project. And it's pretty much a series of ring routine that leading up to like my modern take on the classic linking ring. So you can do with a regular ring. So I'm just going to skip the whole routine. Just going to go straight to the linking ring because I'm
Okay.
sure I've talked about that on my other lecture as well.
Right.
About some other ring stuff. So you can check that out. I also have a download at 311 called Reflex. You can learn more on that as well. So you have a ring.
I do.
Does that come off?
Sometimes.
Come off easy. So you haven't been married for too long.
Yeah, I haven't.
So it comes
No.
off too quick. All right. So check out my ring.
Normal.
Good? Normal?
Yeah.
So watch closely. This is a really heavy ring. Tungsten, maybe. I don't know. Mine is like titanium light metal. The ring is made of one solid piece. I'm trying to get these two to link. Watch. 1, 2.
That's so good.
See it's inside? You can actually see
Yes.
it's not just an illusion. It's really inside.
Right.
You can actually hear it unlinked.
Ah.
Just like this. You can check out this one. You can check out this one. Everything's examinable.
Dang it.
So yeah, this is my take
love
on this. I love this trick. I perform this a lot. It's a gimmick I always carry with me. And with the new project I'm releasing, you're getting everything you see here. So I'm showing here for the first time. And yeah, when you buy this project, you get the gimmick ring, the ring, and the whole routine.
And the ring that you get is very well made too. Like it.
Okay, so the secret is this. It's like a half ring, but it's a little bit more than half. So I showed this to Garrett. He really liked this effect a lot too. And as you can see, the edges are actually rounded. So it's not just cut, but it's also rounded. That way it doesn't cut your finger. Now there are a lot of things you can do with this gimmick. Now, I'm going to show you another variation real quick, just on the camera. So I take a ring, they examine the ring, I place this ring like this, you can see the ring there, I'll show right there. So I imagine I have people holding my fingertip. So imagine someone's holding here. So I'm going to try to move this ring from here to my middle finger. Watch closely. 1, 2.
So good.
So it goes there. Then I show both sides. You can see all around from my middle finger. Watch closely. Goes all the way through, right? So this is the whole routine is all being taught on the project that I have. You get the gimmick ring and everything. So the linking ring part, I'm just going to run through it quickly, not going too much detail on this. You start the gimmick here. You want to hold it kind of like when you do ring flight. You know, that clip position like this. Middle finger, thumb, first finger goes on top. I borrow my ring. They can check out my ring. This ring is being linked onto the gimmick like that. I open my hand, and I place the ring kind of like below my knuckle here. So when I close my hand, you can see the ring kind of disappear, right? And what I do at the same time is that I place this half ring above my knuckle. As it goes there, I close my hand, it's done.
So good.
So there's a switch happening at the same time the magic moment is happening. So obviously you want to do it smoothly. So I open my hand like this. You can see it's really clean. I have this ring already linked there. Places below my knuckle. This comes down and try to get it to be as close as possible so there you don't see the ring jump. There.
Wow.
One more time. Troy also performed this on TV as well. So it's a really visual linking ring, really practical. Come down, switch, change. And they can actually see the ring. So this is obviously on the back side. I have the normal ring here, gimmick ring there. That's being linked. From here, I pick up everything, and the switch is this. I'm going to push this ring back to where it was, there, and then I just took this out.
Easy.
Easy, right? So one more time. From the front, goes there. I pick it up. As you can see, I have a lot of cover here. My finger, move the ring back. So now the ring's already back. I just open this up, and I scrape the gimmick along with it so you get that little audio sound. Right? And obviously they want to examine this right away because it's my ring. So I get it out to them. And we're in the studio right now, so you might hear this little clink of the ring like unlinking.
Yeah, it's super quiet in here.
So, but usually in outside you never hear this. So since it's a half ring, all I have to do is just tilt up just slightly, and the gimmick would just fall into my palm.
Then you're clean.
Then you're clean. So here, lift up, they examine this. So one more time from beginning. I normally do, ring stuff in the beginning first. So that way you kind of do something with your ring. Get this out for them to examine. They look at it, borrow their ring, talk about their ring for a little bit, get to the position here, put it here, and then you perform the linked. Really slow down and build that magic moment there. What I like to do is that once the ring is here, I like to let that ring kind of like just drop down. You know?
Yeah.
That almost feels like it's just kind of linked. And from here, you unlinked it. Another method that I do, you can also do a switch here. So you have the ring clip there. You put the ring down. So what I like to do is that I put my thumb here because I don't want the ring to be pushed all the way down. So I place my thumb here. So when I put the ring down, so try to put the ring in. So I put my hand down like this.
So what do you want me to do?
So put the ring on my first finger. I put my thumb down as a stopper. So it doesn't matter.
So
They can't push it all
that.
the way. This finger will come in. I load this on as I switch the ring. Okay? And then this ring just curl behind. So in full speed, the switch looks like this. They put the ring on here. I push the ring in like this so they can see it like that.
So good.
So right now the other one is hiding. And I could maneuver the gap to be a little bit more towards the top so you get this better angle. I take the ring and you literally just link on it. Like that. So that's another way of doing it, right? So just very clean. Here, show the ring. I link it into the loop, blow it, and then I let it drop. That's where the magic happens, right? When it drops. From here, show my hand, pick this one up, do the same switch, unlink it. This ring can be immediately examined, and then you get rid of this gimmick.
So good.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the Halo project.
Yeah, and I highly recommend getting Halo because you show me that. You let me.
Yeah, it's the whole handling that you see from moving here to moving here down to a linking ring. And you get everything you taught on there, all the ring stuff that I've been performing for a long time now, and you get a really nice custom gimmick that you can perform with anything.
Anything, any ring.
Let me show you one more trick.
Okay, one more.
You know, might as well just get all the good stuff out. So let's see. Do you have your phone with you? We're going to use that in a second.
I do.
So before we started, just take any cards you want from this deck. Yeah, just take this card out. One card.
Let's do this.
Show the card to the camera.
Got it.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I'm going to place your card somewhere in the middle of the deck. This. How far do you think that card is?
A little more than half.
A little bit more than half. Can you open the camera on your phone?
Yes.
I'm going to give a deck one shuffle. And during this shuffle, I want you to think about your card. Because as I do a bridge, I'm going to try to cause one card to flip around the other way around. Okay, so think about your card. Boom, done. Do you see your card? One card is now reversed in the deck now. So if I fan this out, can you see one card?
Yeah.
You can see one card now. The camera can see. There's one card flip around. You take a look. It's a court card, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me take the photo. I'm gonna take a photo. So just do a big smile right now. 3, 2, 1. This is my last trick. So I took the picture that way. I can't change my mind after if something goes wrong. Your card was a high card.
Yes.
It's a picture card.
It is.
It's a queen.
No.
It was a queen.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have bad memory.
It was a queen. It was a queen.
It's a queen.
It was.
Queen of Hearts.
What the heck?
It wasn't the Queen of Hearts.
No.
What was it? Clubs. Queen of Clubs. Very close. The Queen of Hearts. It's not a Queen of Clubs. Okay, hold your hand out. Let's see if I can maybe try to fix this. Think about your card, the Queen of Clubs.
Oh, bastard. Ah,
So you change this to the correct card.
the heck.
The only problem now, the picture is doesn't match. Well, maybe I can change that too. Check this out. The Queen of Hearts has now changed into the Queen of Clubs
That's crazy.
on the phone.
Ah,
See, I could never fail. I'm too
you're
good.
making me feel bad. I'm forgetting things. This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so this is my variation on Aussie Win double exposure. I'm sure you're familiar with this. I love the idea of changing picture on the phone. And like I said before, they leave with something they could talk about, right? So that's really like the main key thing for my effects.
So good.
I'm gonna teach you this one.
Okay.
Very simple. It's it's like a double exposure principle. And you happen to pick the same queen too, so which is good. The closer, for me, the closer of the card, the better, because they feel like you're almost there and like you missed it.
Right.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
And for me, that makes it a little bit more convincing. So what I normally do is that I would actually get all the hearts. So the card that I have to memorize, I use the Queen of Hearts. It's easy for me to memorize. And I take out all the hearts, because you want it to be as close as possible, like you could never fail, and then you fail at the end. So I take out all the hearts, and I put these in the middle. So all the hearts goes in there, and you just have to force one of the hearts. That way it kind of matches the card. I take the queen, I put it face up on the bottom. So right now, Queen of Hearts on the bottom, the middle stack, I have the hearts here. So just make sure they pick one of the hearts. So just take one. Hopefully it's one of the hearts. They get a 10. So here's the first move. What do you have to do? As you're looking at that card, I flip the deck over.
Oh, wow.
Now, since I have the card like that, that looks like I didn't do anything. There's no control or anything. I use my pinky to break. You want it to be exactly in half. So the card goes in about halfway down. And you can even have it side jaw like this so they can really see the card go in there. There's no control. Okay? So in this position right now, you have the selection reversed, and you have another card on top. I ask them to take out their phone, open the camera, and you do one more turn over.
Wow.
So right now we have the card already reversed, the other card reversed. Then what I do after busy doing that, I'm going to cut about, you want to cut about half, a quarter of the deck to the bottom. And the reason I'm doing this is so that right now, if I cut the deck in half, the 10 is in the middle, and the bottom half, the queen is in the middle. You want it to be as close as possible, because I'm going to do a pharaoh shuffle in a second. So, going back, again, as I take out the camera, just casually take about a quarter and cut it to the bottom. Okay? Now I'm going to do a pharaoh. So, take half and you want to faro those two cards to be close to each other. Now, usually, I can actually see right now. So, usually when you reverse the card, you can almost see. Can you see it? You can see the card.
Yeah.
You can see it. So, try to align them to be close, but not directly to each other.
Okay.
Okay. So, just get them to be close. So, I can actually get them to be right next to each other, but you want to be slightly off.
Slightly off. Okay.
And then you want to make sure the top card is on the bottom. Do the side jog shuffle. So right now the deck is being separated like this. So now I take the deck up and I do a fan. And when I fan, they're only going to see one card face down. This card that they see face down is actually the queen, right? You can see the queen there.
Mm-hmm.
But the back is hiding the queen, but it's showing the 10. So from the back, I see one card. I see one card too, but it's a 10. So the closer you get, it looks like it's the same card. So at this point, I take a picture. I'm not gonna, so I'll just do it now, just so we can get this. So I say, so first the reason I forced you the heart, so I can say your card was a red card, yes?
Mm-hmm.
It's a heart? They say yes. Say, oh, I'm so sure this is gonna be your card. You know what? I'm so sure I'm gonna take a picture. So I can't even, if something goes wrong, we have a proof here.
Right.
I can't change my mind after. So from here, my right hand, I took a picture of a 10. They think I took a picture of the queen. You're going to miscall it after.
Right.
So my hand just gathered the deck up like this. I still remain the side jog. I turn the deck end for end. This is Harappan idea. He gave me this solution. Then I reverse the fan. So what happened now is when I fan, it looks the same here, but when I lift my hand up, they're seeing the queen now. I'm switching.
So good.
Okay?
It's great.
So this principle is great. So the card is being side jog. You're always hiding one card and showing the other. So right now, the queen, check this out. If I close the fan like this and I fan again, now the 10 is showing. Close the fan like this, I fan again, the queen is showing. So it's a really great. So I'm using that to switch in and out to take photos.
That's great.
But I want them to believe that I take the picture of the queen of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I do that little turnover. I don't want to show you the card yet. I act really confident. I say, your card was a high card, yes, the queen of hearts. And I just casually just bring my hand up like this. They see the queen. I say, no, that's not my card. It's like, really? Now check this out. This is really the cleanest switch you could do, the easiest switch. All I do, I turn my hand like this. They see the same back card, and I just take this card out. And just, you switch already.
That's awesome.
Right? So this card is switched. Place it in their hand. You say, what card do you have? The 10? It's like, you know what? And then you do a little move, whatever you want. That card changes. The phone is already done ahead of time. You just open the picture, boom, show the card.
Easy.
Yeah, and then they get to keep this card.
So good. Nice, man.
So
A great trick to end on.
yeah, so this trick is called photo opportunity. Photo op.
Nice. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
really
having me.
appreciate
So
it.
yeah.
And thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys next time at the table.